So Steven had sent us something. I didn't know what it. Well, I didn't know that it was an official video by WWE. Here's the thing: WWE, they don't like it whenever you react to their stuff.
So why are we doing this?
I'm doing this because Steven literally... Okay, hold on one second. So, I just figured I figured at least I'd give it a shot and try and edit it in a way to where it won't get hit. And here's the thing, even though if it does go down, it won't be a strike.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So that's what I worry about.
No, I know, and here's the thing: WWE, they don't strike as much as they don't strike anywhere near as much as they used to. The only time they strike you is if you're live streaming their live events. You know, like if like a big pay-per-view is going on, then they'll rake you over the coals and basically like take your firstborn child. But this, where this is a video that's 5 years old and is and it's about a match from 1998. Needless to say, they're probably going to be a little more lenient on this, and if they do something to our channel, it'll just be like, oh, it's a copyright claim, and no one can watch the video. And if that's the case, that's the case. I just at least wanted to try, yeah. Because Steven was so nice.
You might try stamping their logo over it as a watermark or something.
That's what I plan on. I plan on doing the watermark trick that I do for anime, so that the footage doesn't really get claimed as much. So we'll see how it goes. But you know these two. Well, you specifically know this one. You know the Undertaker.
I know of Mick Foley.
Big, tall, well, yeah.
So you guys know, I don't know hardly anything about wrestling. Like, I know the basics. Undertaker's the only dude that I've ever really kind of considered a favorite wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But
because he's a big, tall edgelord.
Actual matches I've ever seen is probably 0 from beginning to end. I've only ever seen like highlight clips and such.
Well, in terms of work rate, this is not like... Well, when I say work rate, in terms of like moves in the match and stuff like that, it's not the most technically like perfect. You know, you see these dudes in the ring, they're like flipping around, doing all this crazy stuff, and it's awesome. This is literally the peak of WWE, like 1998. This is when they were like at their peak. And this was the biggest pay-per-view that I think they'd ever done at one point, because when they started sales for this was in the old Pittsburgh Igloo ice, or like where the ice hockey thing is. So it sold out, like, it had 18,000 seats. Do you know how fast they sold out? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. This sold out, and this was one of the main reasons, because the first Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels was like considered one of the greatest matches of all time. And everyone was like, oh, they're bringing it back? And Mick Foley's going in there? Oh my gosh, what kind of crazy stuff are they going to do? Well, no one was prepared for it. The only people who were, like, kind of prepared for it were the two men in the match, but the people on commentary, some of the, most of the production team and everything like that, most of them did not know what was going to happen. And something happened that was completely unexpected and permanently, like, changed how like Mick, well, basically it fucked up Mick Foley forever, and it basically guaranteed that his time in the ring was limited.
I think you showed me that at one point.
It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane what happened.
He fell from like really far up, didn't he?
You'll see. There's several instances that this is one of the most unbelievably like insane stunt-oriented matches I've ever seen. In terms of stunt work, this is some of the best I've ever seen. And these two, and just what Mick Foley's willing to put himself through just for the wrestling industry, my God, the fact he's still alive is amazing. Anywho, Undertaker and Mick Foley relive their infamous Hell in a Cell match. Here we go. Yeah.
Honestly, I did not expect him to get up from that. He hit, and finally he started moving around, and I was like, man, that's one tough son of a gun right there.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there as one of the most shocking moments for me.
Well, my feud with The Undertaker had actually ended a while earlier. I thought we were entering a match cold. I thought my character had been through a lot and people had lost interest in it. After watching the first ever cell match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, I realized I was in a terrible predicament to even try to approach the level that they had reached was going to be very difficult. And I just didn't see how it would be possible without something special.
I can guarantee that mankind will have a surprise for everyone that you will not soon forget.
If we can do something special, if we can start a match in a way that no one ever has, maybe we can fool people into thinking we're having a great match, even if we're not.
Yeah, I've definitely heard people talk about this.
Yeah, it's one of the craziest things. I remember I wasn't able to watch this live. My parents had kind of banned wrestling in the house for a little bit. My friend Andrew chokeslammed another kid and basically like injured the kid's shoulder. And basically my mom was just like, nope, you're not watching that. You're not watching that. No. There was a time my mom was like kind of a stickler for things. I'm glad she's calmed down on that. But yeah, this was a hell of a time. I watched this when it came out on VHS. Holy God.
It happened, but Undertaker broke his foot. And we weren't sure, how, that was going to play out. Yeah, I did happen to have a fracture in my ankle. It was such an important time in the business. You knew you had to do it. So, you just grit your teeth and go in there and do what you do.
That compounded the troubles.
Also making big money.
We were facing.
This is when they were making like the most money.
The Undertaker and I reminisced about that a couple of years ago. Like, what were we even doing in that situation? And yet he willingly entered it with a broken foot, which speaks volumes as to what type of.
It's crazy, and he's like not even limping hardly.
No, that's tape and painkillers, dude. Tape and ibuprofen. Taker was always one of those who never did anything that was like really heavy. He was never one of the pill junkies that you would normally see in wrestling. He was an old tough bastard. That's how he was. Easily one of the toughest dudes ever.
The Undertaker is here, and he's walking with purpose. Oh, this is going to be bad.
I don't remember the build-up to that day, other than being approached by Mr. McMahon and him asking me if I had been up on top of that structure earlier in the afternoon. And I assured him I had, which was the biggest lie I'd told up to that point in my life.
God dang it,
And then
Nick.
he asked me if I was comfortable up there, and I assured him I was, which became the newest, biggest lie I'd ever told in my life, because if I had ever gone up on top of that structure in the afternoon, I wouldn't have been scaling it that evening, because it was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I know there are
Almost
people
20
in
feet
the
off the ground, dude. You gotta
WWE
think.
Universe superstars who are not afraid of heights. I'm not one of them.
It's red hot.
The Civic Arena, the Igloo, yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the 6th annual King of the Ring.
The reaction.
It seems
with
like
a
the kind of
normally
thing
hot-
you would have wanted to practice before you did it.
Well, here's the thing. They do that now. They actually have like stunt crews that work with them for high spots like that. Especially if it's a high value asset I don't know, the boss's son, Shane McMahon, who was so crazy he would jump off anything. But yeah, this was like the all or nothing days, man, where they didn't really care about what they did to their body as long as it drew money. And these guys made bank off this. And basically got cemented. Well, Undertaker was already cemented, but this cemented Mick Foley as one of the go-to like dudes in WWE for almost anything crazy. Mick would keep doing matches, but eventually his back and his hips just gave out on him. And he came back for like one-off stuff, but he started gaining weight. But thankfully, he's gotten help and he's done rehab and everything, and he's gotten surgeries to help him out and procedures done, and he's able to get around a lot better now. And I'm very thankful for that because Mick Foley's one of my heroes, dude. Not just as a wrestler, but as a human being. One of the most humble, one of the most genuinely nice people. Dude, at any convention you go to, he will shake your hand and he will answer any question you got. He is one of those dudes. He does not have, like, ego is not in this dude's dictionary. And I love that about him.
Crowd was a little bit lukewarm until we got up on top of the cell.
He's having second thoughts. That's the face of a man he's like, what have I got myself into?
For what? He's not very logical. I mean, he needs therapy.
Those bells.
To be completely honest, it's like, crap. Am I going to be able to get up there? You know, the answer was yes, because I don't know how. I mean, I would have got up there. I don't care how, but I would have got up there. It was definitely an exciting way to start off a Hell in a Cell match, to start out on top.
There are moments when
I was gonna say it's kind of counterintuitive to the name, isn't it?
What?
Hell in a Cell.
Well, that's the thing
Or
is.
Hell on a Cell. Apparently.
Well, that's the thing. The match doesn't officially start until both combatants are in the ring, and the ref signals for the bell. But this was something completely just out of left field that no one knew, because where they hadn't had no ringing of the bell, no nothing. These two just got up there and started fighting. They just got up there and just went at each other. And then everything that happened, and it's just,
actually sinking into the mesh. It's like we're tearing holes in the mesh.
Right there, I thought they were going through when I first watched it. I was like, oh, Jesus.
This should have been a harbinger.
As you can see, they're using zip ties. Zip ties, man! What the hell?
For even worse things to come.
For something that two very large dudes are standing there.
Well, both of them weigh in the neighborhood of 300 pounds. Undertaker's 305, and Mick Foley, I think at this point, was 290. So yeah, you got 600 pounds on top of this thing, and you want to hope and pray that this thing's reinforced enough to where they don't fall through.
Get them over here where we are.
I still remember clearly the distinct sound of the wire coming unwound or breaking from the pressure of our weight. Well, funny enough, I felt safer on the edge or the poling of the cage.
And I just remember getting a couple of really quality chair shots to the back. I think Jerry Lawler said,
Puts goosebumps on my back there and makes the hair on my neck stand up. I like it.
Yeah, he hit him with the flat part of the
next
top
thing
of the
I know,
chair.
I was in flight.
Whee! Oh. Christ.
Everything you heard me say was spontaneous and real. So that call has a pulse.
The announcer saying he was broken in half.
Yeah, the Jim Ross, God, dude, so
It's
many
I don't
great
think
calls from
he's
him.
broken in half, but the table definitely was.
Well, here's the thing. JR didn't know that was going to happen. That's the thing. They kept commentary in the dark about big stuff like this. They knew who was going, usually they knew who was going over, as in who's going to win. But they don't know like shit like this is gonna happen. They figured, oh, they'll get up there, they'll brawl, then Mick Foley will try and pin him on top of the cell. The ref's gonna yell at him like, "The match hasn't started yet, match hasn't started yet, Mankind. What are you doing?" And then Mankind will get down, and then Mankind will get the Undertaker to the edge. The Undertaker will climb down. Mick will climb down. Guarantee you, like they were told that kind of stuff during the run through of the match, but then this, and nobody expected this.
It's over. That cage is 16 feet high.
When I tossed him off of there, and you know, as I was watching him fall, and it seemed like it took forever for him to hit the table. It was like
that also dislocated Mick Foley's
an
shoulder.
out-of-body experience.
Like
it was
his shoulder that hit the table first just popped right out.
And it was so loud in there with the people. At that point, nothing like that had ever been done.
Believe me, I was almost having a heart attack. Watch what was going on. And I got to Mick. I'm asking him, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he gave me the sign there that, yeah, I can continue, which flabbergasted Mick.
He said something kind of quietly, and then I heard him say it again, my shoulder. So I called for a stretcher, and in order for the stretcher to get there, we had to lift the Hell in the Cell up. So with the Undertaker still
Taker was still on top of it when the cell was going up.
It started moving upward.
Why is the cage raising? Do they realize the Undertaker is still on top of the cage? They're raising the cage with the Undertaker still on top. What?
He's just going with it.
Obviously, I know they raised the
Why
cage.
not?
Still standing there menacingly.
I was kind of oblivious
He's just standing there menacingly. SpongeBob, it's the Undertaker.
to it, really. I was so zoned in what we were doing at that point. You know, I'm kind of up there without any kind of communication with anything or anybody. I was just like, well, I guess I'm not going anywhere till they, you know, till they bring me down.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
Back, he started saying, "No, I want to go back. I said, "No, you're not going anywhere. You're going
Crazy
back.
bastard.
You know, you're going to hospital." And the next
Nope.
thing I know, Nick jumps up. He started climbing up to Hell in a Cell again. He started going up to the top.
Dislocated shoulder and everything. He's like, fuck it. We're going all in. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go.
How the fuck is he climbing with a dislocated shoulder?
It's the adrenaline, man. The adrenaline's kicking in. That crowd gets you going, and you're just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my god.
This is absolutely amazing.
You ain't kidding.
Everybody in the building thought the match was over. I didn't know for sure if I could, but I said I was going to give it my best try. But by the time I got to the top of the cell, I was just about out of energy. So I looked back and I wish that I'd had the strength and the energy to exchange with the Undertaker, but I'm thankful that I didn't in retrospect, because if I'd had the strength to exchange, I also would have had the strength to get off the cell for the choke slam.
This. God, Jesus. Oh. Still 26 years later, this still fucking hurts, dude. Oh, Mick, you crazy bastard. Oh.
It's like the idea that this wasn't planned.
That wasn't.
And that they actually got not only that he managed to get back on the cell, but like also when he choke slammed him, like the grade of it perfectly gave way to let him fall into the ring.
It did, but here's the thing. It was planned that section would be torn away. Like,
oh, it was.
It was going to be torn away, but I can't remember. Like, I think they talk about it in this, but that wasn't Mick falling down like that. Like, unprotected wasn't supposed to happen, because two things happened. Number one, when he fell through, he rolled and he landed right on his hip. Boom. You don't want to land on your hip from that height, because your pelvis is strong, but your joint connector...
Yeah, there's like a...
there's a little piece of bone that connects your hip joint to your pelvis.
There's like a part that's going to hit first before everything else.
Yeah.
Like, too. Like, so it's going to be a lot of pressure on a small area.
Yep. And
it's not good.
And the second thing that happened was watch the chair. Watch the chair that falls with him. The chair, the leg of it came down and smacked him, boom, right here in the mouth. Yep. And, yeah. Lands right on his hip, and the chair hits him in the mouth. And he's concussed right here. He's got a concussion from landing like that.
Well, somebody stop the damn match! Enough's enough!
God, I love JR's commentary.
He's cracking me up with that. He's broken in half.
But I think enough is enough.
Knowing what we know and knowing that that structure gave way, I believe that if I'd gone up in a way that I usually did for choke slams, that would afford me the safest landing on a mat inside a ring, that I would have over-rotated and landed high on my shoulders and likely never wrestled again.
I totally agree with that. We're talking a matter of a couple of inches, even the way he landed.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been catastrophic. I mean, it really could have. But
You see, the crowd reacting's one thing. The ref crew and the producers outside
that could have been catastrophic.
Jesus Christ. Look at Terry and Slaughter. Terry is just like, Jesus Christ, Mick, what are you doing, man?
Catastrophic. I mean, it really could have. But I stepped off of the panel and onto the support bars. If I hadn't have done that, we'd have both gone through that together. So if you could imagine, if I had stayed on that panel, my weight would have probably been on him too.
Yeah, that could have killed him.
It's a scary thought.
It is.
It just was an incredible thud, and it just made you sick to see it. And we could see something, in his nose. I remember punching him, trying to talk some sense into him, but also being just distracted by this huge, what I thought was a booger in his nose. Come to find out that it was one of his incisors.
Oh.
Yep. It basically just got knocked out and got popped right out his nose.
Oh, what the fuck?
I know. That's fucking gnarly.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
It was lip and ended up in his nose.
And I had the presence of mind to think that if I could just find a way to stick my tongue through that massive wound and wriggle it, that it would create a compelling image. I knew I was going to be okay.
Oh my God.
He's smiling. He is smiling.
Mick had basically just had 2 really bad car accidents.
Basically.
And still had the fortitude to get back to his feet and say, we're going to finish this.
Oh, that's the bad shoulder.
That's just another cut of human being right there.
You know what? I'm panicking. I really am. I don't know if I should just say the match is over. And then he grabs me and he goes, where are the tacks?
Thumbtacks. Fucking thumbtacks. Back to his old deathmatch days. Oh my God,
That's
Nevin.
Just
fucked
the
up,
glittering,
man.
the shininess of the tacks. And I guess in retrospect, we needed something like that, and seemed like a suitable way to end that match.
Yup. Oh! He's rolling in it.
The tacks were probably the easiest part of the night. It was definitely icing on the cake.
That's the easiest part of the night, yeah. That's the bottom of his shoe.
Ended up in a bed of tacks. So it was a rough night for Mick Foley.
And even as Timmy White was counting 3, that I believe the right foot was just kicking ever so gently to show like I'm not completely out of this ball game yet.
But
Mike
you are,
Chioda,
Mick.
Who was not the referee of record, but he came out and told me they were bringing a stretcher out for me. And he said, and you can look on the video, and you can see I lift my arm. And the reason I lift my arm is I didn't want anyone in Pittsburgh to see me talking. And what I said to him was, have I already been on a stretcher tonight? And when he informed me that I had, that right arm went up about 3 seconds after that for a second time. And I said, I can't be on 2 stretchers in one night. And I hobbled my way to Mr. McMahon's room.
I took him back and put him on a table. He went to let me know that his shoulder was hurt. But he smiled at me, and I could see, that he had a gash under his lip. They started stitching him up right there. Just an incredible sight to see.
Mr. McMahon sat me down, and I remember those words specifically. He said, you have no idea how much I appreciate what you've done for this company, but I never want to see anything like that again.
Agreed.
It's everlasting. It's in our minds forever. And it's like any other great event in wrestling or mainstream sports. It's that play that defined the game.
And the thing about that is just like you can't like give your organization a reputation as an organization that stuff like that happens often,
No, this is once in a
eventually like lawmakers and people are gonna just be like that needs to be stopped, like
yeah,
like this is not safe for people to be doing, and they shouldn't be doing this crap, but like one time, it's like pretty fucking crazy.
No doubt.
It's kind of one of those things. It's like, I bet, like, even though it kind of fucked him up and stuff, he's still probably overall glad that this match happened the way it did and such.
Yeah, and
it's like, it's scary to think about the moments like where it, like, it could have ended way worse.
There's one match I would say that Mick would say that he regrets 100%. And it's because of the potential damage that it may do in the long run to him. It's the 1999 Royal Rumble I Quit match. Because that was the thing. He was in a rivalry with The Rock. And basically The Rock handcuffed Mick's hands behind his back where he couldn't protect himself. And 9 unprotected chair shots to the head. Usually people put their hands up to, like, ease the blow and stuff. I've done that. And I've also taken an unprotected one. But thankfully, the dude I was working with, he protected me. Like, Buggy Wright. Dude, solid dude. I love working with Buggy. But 9 unprotected chair shots to the head, to the front and the back. And it's easily one of the most, like, by the end of, like, all the chair shots, I don't think anyone in the building was having fun anymore.
Yeah. Sounds kind of fucked up.
And not only that, but Mick's family was there. His wife and kids. And they watched it. And then, I think it was like halfway through the chair shots, his wife and kids got up and left. Because they couldn't watch it anymore. Because that shit's dangerous, man. It's like when
people still actually like The Rock, because that's kind of fucked up.
Well, here's the thing. Mick told him to go far. Mick told him to go far with it, and he said, every time I get up, I want you to just hit me with another one. And then whenever we're going up the ramp for the final one, stick the mic to my face, and then everything will go as it's supposed to. And basically, it was It was still ugly to watch, because seeing Mick take the mask out, because that's the thing, they reinforced his mask to, like, help with some of the chair shots, added a little bit of cushioning, but even after all that, when they took his mask off, just a crimson mask is what he had. His face was nothing but blood red. And that match is the one that still hurts me to watch. It still hurts me to watch that. This one, because both guys knew what they were doing, mostly, and because it ended the way it was supposed to, and Mick Foley is still alive, and also, you know, Mick, basically Mick was able to do what he wanted. I love this match.
I couldn't ask for a better human being to do that with than Mick. These are things that, like I said, that I haven't really talked about. There's probably only a handful of people that I would, open myself up like that to, he being one of them. It's really special to still be considered such an iconic match and one that people really, have all these really fond memories of. That just lets us know we did something right.
It was the reactions to the unexpected, and I think that element of surprise
That too hanging up
embeds in people's minds, so that anyone who was there in the venue or watching live when it happened will never forget that moment. This moment was.
You want to have a look at that. Those old Polaroid roll-up cameras. Holy cow, dude!
Live when it
That's
happened.
ridiculous.
We'll never forget that moment. This moment or series of moments has left this indelible imprint on people's memories. We're somehow able to create an image in people's minds that lives on and will outlive me and the Undertaker both.
Damn. What a trip, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen like a meme about that, like as of like the past year or less.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if I could find it again,
but oh man, and the fact that both of these dudes are retired now, and also
oh yeah, it's a copy pasta.
yeah, this is Mick right here. I can he still looks good. His beard's gone absolutely crazy. Mick Foley beard. There he is.
Yeah, it's like, don't let this man distract you from the fact that in 1998, The Undertaker threw mankind off Hell in a Cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table.
Yeah.
It's like a copy pasta that people post online.
Oh yeah.
That's
Also
what I talked about recently.
Also his ear. Look at his ear.
Yeah.
You know how that happened?
Nah.
He went over the top rope and he wrapped himself up with the ropes like this. But they wound the rope. He'd done the spot before. It's called the hangman. Basically, you go in and you wrap the ropes around you, and it basically like makes it seem like you're choking. These were the ropes were wound way too tight because the guy that he was going up against was Big Van Vader, who weighed like 430 pounds. So they wanted to make sure that the ropes held up, and also not only that, but it was industrial cable, not rope. So
it tore his ear off.
So basically, the ref did everything he could. Mick passed out because like he choked out. The ref pulled as hard as he could to get Mick's head free. Mick's head slid down, and as it slid down, just took his ear off. And not only that, but also Tom Billington, aka Dynamite Kid, Mick's first match against Tom Billington. Tom Billington basically gave him a hard clothesline and dislocated his jaw. And Mick, for the rest of the match, was like this. Like,
damn.
Yeah. It was... Mick has had a hell of a time. Also, his beard, dude. I love his beard.
Lumberjack.
Yep. But anyway, everyone, I want to thank you all so much for tuning into this. This was this was Undertaker and Mick Foley relive their relive the Hell in a Cell match from 1998. Dear God, what a crazy ass time. So anyway, everybody, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Steven, hope you enjoyed. And I guess until next time, signing off.
His reaction actually gets to be up.
Yeah. So if you're seeing this, hey, congratulations, the reaction stayed up. If not,
otherwise, I guess we'll just have to message it to Steven and be like, here you go.
I guess it's just how it goes.
Oh, and just one more thing for Steven he told me to do.
What's that?
I am an eagle. There you go.
You motherfucker. Okay. Thank you for that, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.